right, CTV News political commentator Scott Reid is standing by. Let me get some immediate reaction from you to that, Scott.
Well, when he asserts that the Prime Minister apologized and immediately follows it up by insisting that President Reagan was a huge fan of tariffs, one has to wonder what is and what isn't true. Because certainly the second statement isn't. Who knows? The Prime Minister is going to get asked about this. Donald Trump has a long history of exaggerating the way in which people encounter him and what they say to him. But on the other hand, it's entirely possible the Prime Minister said, hey, sorry about that whole incident. Can we just put that behind us? Let's get back to talking. So who's to say? But we can be certain the Prime Minister is going to get asked about it.
What does that mean, do you think, moving forward for the resumption of trade talks? I mean, how much of this is real and how much of this is sort of faux outrage, Scott?
I think there's an element of real outrage because, he is a l'enfant terrible and can't handle the truth, as the saying goes. But a lot of it now does seem to be performative and histrionic. So, my bet is that we'll stay, in the penalty box for a little while, and then at some point talks will start to pick back up. I'm also beginning to think, and you hear this, other Canada-U.S. experts who have real experience in the area, I wonder if maybe this pause doesn't help us. Donald Trump's facing a number of challenges on his trade approach. So he's got a court ruling coming up, which could determine that all of these, or virtually all of these, tariff applications are illegal. He has an increasingly fragile economy. He has increasing evidence that the tariffs are causing prices to rise, but not causing industry to expand and jobs to expand in the United States. So, you can see on this trip how he felt he had to backtrack with China. Trump rolled over for China in the face of their insistence on rare earth minerals. So, well, maybe a pause helps Canada. Perhaps we'll see when the smoke clears that a deal that wasn't available to us before might be in the future.
What about the meeting between Mark Carney and the Chinese President Xi Jinping? That's also crucial as well because of the trade war. We don't talk about it as much, but that's going on as well. It's affecting, obviously, Canadian farmers in places like Saskatchewan.
Not only are there trade irritations between the two countries, but we've been in the freezer for almost a decade now between Canada and China, going back to 2017, 2018. And, when the Prime Minister referred to it as a turning point in the relationship, we can know that that isn't just rhetoric because Xi has extended the offer of a state visit to Canada. So it does feel like there is a resumption of something approaching normal relations, or at least renormalized relations. And look, that's inevitable. And the reason it's inevitable, not surprisingly, to turn this talk back, is Donald Trump. If Donald Trump is going to close his market to the United States and to others in Europe and other places, don't be surprised when they go looking to other large markets. And China is at the top of that hit list. So in many respects, Donald Trump's trade policies are forcing Canada back into the orbit of China. We will go about that delicately, carefully, not just because of human rights violations, but because of the recent history between us of foreign interference and other offenses. But we have no choice but to suddenly say, well, maybe we are open to broader and more expanded trade relations with China because Trump is making it difficult for us to trade with our allies who are nearby.
Scott Reid with his take. Good to see you, Scott. As always, happy Halloween and happy Blue Jays.
You bet. Go Jays, go.